The Painting with Magic Show with Brandon Thomas is brought to you by BrandonThomasArtSupply.com.
Hey, it's Brandon T here with the Painting with Magic Show. And today I thought we'd do a beautiful little mountain scene here. Actually, it's going to be a big old mountain scene, big old mountains. This painting here is going to show you a lot with painting Snow Peak Mountains. I get a lot of questions on doing those, and we haven't done that type of project yet on the program this season yet. And what I have is a 16 by 20 canvas. It's covered with my signature Amazing White Medium. This is a Fredrix Red labeled canvas. And like I said, it has my Amazing White on there. All nice, thinly, even coated. So the canvas is wet and it's ready to go. The oil paint I'm using today, we're using a very limited palette, which will be on the screen for you. And these are the Grumbacher pre-tested oil paints. Beautiful, thick, rich color. So I think with that right there, we'll get ready to start painting. But before we do, please like, share, and comment. Every time you like and you comment on these videos, it helps me so much to get new viewers and to help YouTube push these programs out. Every time you like and comment, it helps me so much, and I really appreciate it. And I like to interact with you guys in the comments, and I see so many of y'all in there, and I'm so excited to talk with y'all in there. So what I have here, again, like I said, 16 by 20. We got a 2-inch landscape brush, and we'll go into a little old Prussian Blue. So we'll take a 2-inch brush right into some Prussian Blue. Okay, a little Prussian Blue. Take a little bit of burnt Sienna right with it there. A little touch of black. This is going to be a winter scene today. So I want this guy to be a little bit in the gray side. And we'll tell you what. We'll see what we got when we go up here. Let's go back up here now. Nice thinly, a little bit on the 2-inch brush. Go up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use circles today. Circles. This will show that there's some movement going on. Some whippiness going on now around here. Beautiful little whippy stuff. Like the wind's blowing and turning and all that good stuff. Reload that old brush. Man, a little bit of blue to it this time. A little more blue. Because I want a variation of color going on. So I just add a little more blue to that color. That's a Prussian Blue. It's super strong. Takes very little bit. Takes a tiny little bit of this color. Just keep on spinning that brush. Doing little circles. And because Amazing White's on here and the canvas is wet, that paint's moving around nice and freely. So just keep on spinning that old brush. Let's bring it down pretty far today. Like I said, we're going to have a big old mountain. Big old mountain. I may just add a little, just more burnt Sienna to that brush. Like I said, I want some different colors flowing through this one. It just gives us a nice little bit of color differences going on. It's a very easy way to do a sky too. Very cool. One more blue. There you are. I'm going to reload that old brush up, and we'll go in here and just paint in some... No, I'll tell you what. We'll see the bottom nice and white for now. For now. Okay, I'm going to wash that old brush. Okay, so I'm going to wash my brush into some terpenoids, odorless mineral spirits. Give it out real good. Give it a nice little slap right there. Shake it out, and then beat it out. Get mucky faced on it there, and just dry it off. Then we'll go up here and just softly start to blend the sky. Just softly blend the old sky out. There we go. I think right there that sky will do us for now. There's all kinds of movements going on throughout it. You could even take that old 2-inch brush and just add a little bit of cloud movement going on if you wanted to. Just a little titanium white on the old brush, or on the old tips of the corners. And you could just add a little bit of clouds in here if you wanted to. Quickly and easily, you can add a few little cloud shapes that just live up here. Just an old few. Don't take much. Just some movements going on back here in the background. See what? I'll make one more right here. This will have a little more movement going on. It'll show some movement, some sky movement. Beat the little brush, and it's fairly cleaned out. Okay, let's start working on that big old mountain now. Let's go take an old number 10 palette knife. We're going to take some black, some Prussian blue, some burnt sienna, some red, all those beautiful colors. And I'm going to take some little bit of titanium white and mix that in there with it. Just a tiny bit. That titanium white's super strong. It'll really brighten this up, whole thing up. Really lighten it down if you put too much in there. So don't take too much. That's a nice color. And I'll get a nice little roll of paint right there on the edge of the knife. Let's go back here. Now I want a big, strong mountain up here today. Really big one. Just start painting this old mountain in. Any shape that you decide you want to do. Any old shape you want to do. Nice, medium to firm pressure. Doesn't take a whole lot of pressure because this knife's got a nice, beautiful blade on it that's very flexible. Very flexible blade. And that medium will pull that color out for us. Alright. And if we get our beautiful shape in, we'll take what we scraped off and start putting it right here in the middle a little bit. Alrighty. That's good. Wipe the old knife off. Grab the old 2-inch brush we was using earlier. And start pulling that color out. Beautiful. There we go. And this is going to allow us to put those beautiful highlights on very, very easily. Very quickly, very easily. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. Beat the brush. Knock out some of those extra little bit of pigments out. And we just wipe the old knife, get it good and clean. And we'll go to the old palette. Nice clean palette knife, very important. And pull that paint out. Very flat. Very flat. And cut a nice little roll of paint. Right on the edge of the knife. Let's go up here now. Today I'm going to have those beautiful highlights going to the right. So my highlights are going to the right. Here, let's get this paint growing. Once it starts to stick, we just let it flow right on down the old mountain. No pressure. There's no pressure on this knife. No pressure at all. A little side there. Another nice little roll of paint. Once I see it sticking, let's give it a nice little pull. There we go. Nice little pull. No pressure. That paint needs to be good and thick, dry paint. But not too dry, because if it's too dry, that paint won't stick. We'll just put a little bit right here. Just a small little cap there. There we go. Another little roll of paint here. No pressure. No pressure. None whatsoever. Now this is one of the most challenging parts of painting with this technique, is painting these mountains. But I promise you, once you start doing them, you will see they are actually very simple to do. It's a very simple technique, but it's very challenging because there's touch, there's feel to it. With anything you do, there's always going to be a learning curve to it. But once you figure out that little pressure, that little bit of touch, it's a magic touch to it, then you're going to be rolling in it. No pressure here, just going back and touching up little things. No pressure at all. There we go. And we'll go down to the old palette, mix a shadow color. I'm going to mix up a decent little pile of shadow color here. So I got my titanium white. Take a tiny bit of Prussian blue. A little Prussian blue. Little touch of burnt sienna in it. Just to gray it down a little bit. Just to give it a little grayness to it. A little more blue. Little tiny touches at a time. And leave it nice and marble, just like that. See, it's got colors running through it. And we get a nice little roll of paint. Let's go back here now. Alright, so let's start pulling out our shadows. Beautiful shadows. No pressure. Again, the same exact technique. We're just going the opposite direction. Direction. No pressure on a knife. Very, very little pressure. No pressure. Big tip I'm going to give you now is when you hold this palette knife, don't go over this metal ferrule right here that's holding this knife into place, because that will add unnecessary pressure to it. Because if you do that, then you're going to have a hard time getting those paints to stick. You're going to have a very hard time getting that paint to stick. So right now we're just getting in our lighter shadows, and we'll come back and add some more texture. Now I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of pressure so I can scrape around a little bit. That's the only time I like doing it is when I'm doing it on the shadow side, never on the highlight side. I really don't think I ever do that, but unless I want to scrape down at the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that dark mountain mixture and just put a little bit on the little small blade. Maybe we'll go to the big blade here. Start bringing out some of these extra shadows. It's right next to everything here. Kind of helps pull out more shadow, more depth into the mountain. Usually like to have it where I want to curve the mountain. Usually a little bit inside the curvatures. It has to pull that peak out a little bit more. No pressure there. Now I do a little scrape sometimes, just like this. And what that does is it helps add a little more texture to it. A little more texture to it. Okay, I think that shadows are done. I'm just going to go back to a little bit of titanium white. And just fix up my peaks. I'll highlight areas. There we go. Maybe just a little more right through here. And I think that right there will do it for us. We may just add a little bit of that mountain mixture color right through here. Just a itty bit. Just an itty bit. There we go. There we go. I think that mountain there is done. And we will add some mist to the base of that. So I'll tell you what we're going to take. We're going to take a 2-inch hake brush. These are actually my new 2-inch hake brush. I just got them back in stock. I just kind of updated design a little bit of them. But we're going to take that hake brush. And I'm going to add Amazing White to my palette, and I'm going to show what we're going to do here. We'll go down to the old palette now. We're going to take this 2-inch hake brush and just get a little bit of this right on the old 2-inch hake brush. This brush is very soft. Okay, still a brand new brush. Let's take this old brush with some Amazing One on the bristles. Let's go back here. Okay, and with that Amazing One on the brush, we're just going to, I'm just going to add a little chunk of Amazing White. And just soften up the bottom. Just soften that bottom up. Maybe a little more Amazing White on the brush. And that's how I make my mist. A little more Amazing White. I think it just flows so much smoother. Dry brushing, or you can add a little Amazing White to it. However, you can even pull that little bit of edge out, just like that with the old hake brush. There we go. Super soft brush. Super soft. No pressure back through there. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Right into the old fog it is. Good. Now I'll tell you what, let's paint another big old mountain in there. We'll take the old palette knife and we'll load it back up into some mountain color and we'll put another one in here. Okay, so I just reloaded my knife up with a nice beautiful roll of paint. And I'm going to add another big old strong peak in here. Another big beautiful peak. however which way you want it to be. I usually like to add a nice little peak to the tip of it. Tip of it here. Let it flow right down. Another beautiful peak right there. This is not mist in behind it, the way this mountain pops out. Another peak right there. Beautiful peaks and mountain curvatures. This is going all the way across the canvas. Big one. Like I said, this is going to be a nice, beautiful winter scene. And I tell you what, with winter scenes, you can do so much with a winter scene. You can add a glitter to them when you're done. After you paint the snow in, you can add glitter, flakes, little sprinkles of that. We did one with some glitter before. There we go. Fatten that mountain up a little bit. Really scrape it out. Just like that. Fill it in, move it around. All the things you want to do. Really pull that color around. Okay, then we'll take the 2-inch brush, the same old brush we were using before, and just start pulling this color out. Like I said, these are going to be beautiful, just a big mountain scene. Basically what we're doing here today, just a big old mountain scene. We almost filled the whole canvas up with just mountains. There we go. There we go. Grab it a little bit. Ow, there. If you want to move some color around that you want to get really close to, you take a fan brush and you just come in here right to the edges of it and just pull those out that easily. You can get it done. There's a little dust there. Okay, a little hair actually. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough fiddling around with that. We'll grab the old palette knife here. Beautiful little magic palette knife. Yeah, let's wipe off the old rough. Let's go down here with some titanium white. Okay, my knife is fairly cleaned off. Pull out that titanium white very flat. And then cut across to get a roll. Just a beautiful roll. And we'll go right back here now. Okay, so now we're going to start working over here. And we're going to go from the right side just like we did before. Once that paint starts to stick, I'm just going to give it a pull. Right down the mountain. I mop up that knife every time I'm going to do a snow peak mountain like this. We don't want it to be dirty snow. Just think about the shapes and everything that you want to accomplish. But you can do these mountains. You can do them. I'm telling you, you can do them. At first, you may not succeed, but you just keep on going. Just keep on doing it. You never can do anything if you give up. So just keep doing it. No pressures on that knife. I'm barely holding this knife on here with just a couple fingers. That's all I'm doing. Let the paint break. Let it break. Let's go back here in this other mountain. A mountain really starts coming together when you start seeing the highlight, the shadows and everything going with it. Okay. And we can just put a little bit of a little snow back here. That'll sit in there just really nicely. Okay, let's go back to the old shadow color we used back there. There's a little roll of that paint. And we start pulling out our shadows. This is where the mountain really starts to take its shape. Really start to see it come to life here now. Take a little peek, little edge of the knife, and start just putting in those shadows. We can go with some of that mountain color again. Just let it go. No pressure. Just let the snow break. More texture in this mountain. I'm going to kind of lay out the mountain a little bit flatter here. Just a little flatter. Just something like that there. And I'll take a little bit of that mountain color here. And just pull out that mountain a little bit. A little shadow. Go back and forth with them. Let's go on the other side. Just a tiny little bit of shadow color. See? Really starts to bring that mountain out. There we go. Okay, and we'll take a little bit of that dark shadow color, the dark mountain color. Like I said, I like to add it into these little curvatures and things. It really pops out that little corner. See how that pops that corner out? Really starts popping them out. I may take a little more blue here, a little darker blue. With a little bit of that white. Just to add a little more depth into that blue. There we go. And just using the knife blade just to kind of soften and blend some of these paint to go from the shadow into the dark and from the light into the dark. Just kind of blending and moving the paint around. That makes some beautiful snow peak mountains. Even just get a little shot of blue right through here. Just take your time and play with your mountains there to see what you like, how you want to look. And just roll with it. Just roll with it. Maybe you want more mist or whatever. Just go with what you want, what you feel. Okay, with that, I think I got that mountain done. Let's go and make some mist at the bottom of this one. Just going to take our old hake brush here, and I had nothing on it. I'm just going to add a little blue to my brush because I want it to be a little more blue down here instead of gray. I don't want that old gray. I want this to be a happy winter scene. Nothing too dreadful. So I add a little more blue in it. Pep it up a little bit. Okay, just pep it up a little bit. I'm going to paint with this old hake brush today. That'll do. I want to go right into the mist. Right into the mist of this mountain. This mountain lives in the mist. See, that mist just really starts to make this mountain look good, I think. Really love adding the mist and stuff to it. Now I will add more Amazing White to the brush. I will add Amazing White brush to the brush now. And start adding some textures of fog in there. Some foggy textures. Okay, some foggy textures in here. Some more whips and things and just little foggy textures. Just so it's not flat. Down here. Okay, just like that. There we go. Now I'm going to wash my old hake brush. And you wash the hake brush the same way you wash landscape brushes out. Into the mineral spirits. Shake it up. Now this will hold a lot of mineral spirits, so be careful. I shake it out. And then I beat the brush out. Now, these are made out of beautiful goat hair. So they're very, very soft. But you have to break them in, just like all natural brushes. So you can have some shedding. This in here is just like maybe 2 hairs up here, maybe. But that's beautiful for a hake brush. Okay, I tell you what. Let's go to the old palette and make up some tree color. I want some peaks of trees standing out at the bottom of this. Let's go down here. We're going to take some black and the blue, all the more dark colors. Basically just making a big old pile of mountain color. But you can add it up. You can add more blue to it. I think I'll add more blue and black to it, just so it's a little darker than those mountains. A little more black, a little more blue in it. Okay. That's a big, nice pile. There we go. Big, nice pile of paint. Let me go grab a fan brush. Okay, I got my number 6 fan brush here. I'm just going to go back and forth with it. Just load up. Just a nice loaded up fan brush. Let's go back here, paint some trees. Okay, so I'm going to paint this tree here a little bit differently than I normally paint. Well, I paint these evergreen trees differently almost every time I paint evergreen trees. It's slightly different. I'm going to take the brush with one corner, and I'm going to just kind of twist the brush in my fingers, and I paint them like this before on the show. We did a detailed mountain scene, and I'm just kind of twisting the brush a tiny little bit, just so I can get some variations in the trees, and it makes a beautiful, realistic tree. You can hear those birds singing out there right now. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Paint another big old tree right there. But you decide however which way you want to do them. Maybe you don't want the trees in this one. Well, if you don't want the trees in it, just take them out. Put something else there. Another tree there. I'll flip the brush over when I think it's just too light. There we go. This is just the tops of the trees we're only seeing. We're not going to see anything else. These mountains are huge, and these trees are in a little valley. These trees are in just a little valley here. All we're seeing is the tops. That's all we're seeing. Let's put a little tree right there. Just kind of spacing everything out. These are just the tops. Maybe trees, maybe another little bigger one there. But just make them different sizes, different shape, different sizes, different lengths. Because if you put them side by side, they're just not going to look good. Just make sure you just do some, maybe there's just a few little tiny tips you're seeing over here. I'm not seeing too much there. Go back to this side. And right through here, I think we'll put another one in. These are super fun to do. You can make this into a summer mountain scene by just changing the colors of your trees when we highlight them. Because there's snow-peaked mountains everywhere. I get questions all the time. Someone says, "Oh, that don't look realistic. Oh, you put orange in there or yellow in there and a big snow-peaked mountain behind it." Hey man, you see there's snow-peaked mountains in places that have beautiful summers too. Beautiful colors. Plus, this is a painting. This isn't a photograph. This is something I just made up. It's not like it's got to be realistic. Plus, I like paintings that be paintings. I'm going to thin down some of this color here with an old liner brush. And then just kind of pull up through here. Maybe there's some those trees, leaf trees or something you see poking up through here. Just in some of these areas here where you want them. Where you kind of want to see them at. That's the tips. These are just the tips of the trees we're seeing. So don't get too crazy with it. There's the chips and stuff of the trees. There we go. I'll tell you what, I start to add some highlights and stuff to this trees. Grab a clean fan brush here. We're going to take the old fan brush here and we're going to take some blue and some titanium white together, like our shadow color we used. And I'm going to take a little amazing white. A little bit of amazing white with it to help it stick. And just kind of push this paint into the brush. Let's go back here. And so I'm just going to come through here and just put in a few little shadows, snow shadows on this. Just a few little areas here. Just so we can see them. Some shadows. There we go. Might add a little more blue with it just so you can see a little bit better. That's good enough. I'm going to wash the brush. And then we just load it into some titanium white and some amazing white with it. Same way we did the blue. Now we start to add in some highlights, some beautiful snowy peak highlights. Just a few little touches will do it. Just a few little touches will do it. Just a few little. Just a few little touches. That's all you need. It gives it such a better look than if you just do too much. Just a little bit. See, that's simple. That easily done. And you got a very effective looking painting here. Okay, that's good there. There we go. I think with that I got to finish painting. Alright, so I just finished signing my painting. It's always important to sign your painting. This was a super fun one to do. Beautiful snow peak mountains in their beautiful mist and those extra little trees at the bottom with those extra little highlights on there. Those little small little highlights will bring a painting to life. This is a super fun one to do, and I hope you learned something today on how to paint these mountains. This one here, like I said, it's about the intermediate to advanced painting because of the Snow Peak Mountains. Because Snow Peak Mountains are difficult to do when you're first starting out. I know, believe me, I know. I used to have a devil of a time doing them, but please practice. Keep it going with it. Don't give up on it. Keep on painting. You get monkey faced on it, and you will get it. And I get so many people tell me, "Oh man, I was about to give up, but then finally, boom, it clicked, and I got it, and I got monkey face, and it looks beautiful. Now I'm painting all the time." So keep it up. Keep painting. Keep doing it. Paint every day if you can, and you will see the results in your work. So we have many programs on there. We got the Beginners 101 program. It's free on YouTube here, and the Primary Color program. So you can watch all that and get some beautiful information there to help you with your journey in oil painting. If you are in need of any supplies, please check out BrandonThomasArtSupply.com. That's where you can find my signature brushes, mediums, and palettes, which are coming back in stock here. We're accumulating them a little bit. We've been having them back in stock, but they get wiped out almost as soon as we put them on there. And then don't forget, we also have my new hake brush. So my new hake brush that I'll be just restocked. I redesigned it a little bit, and that's what I used today. It was my new hake brush. So you can now get these at BrandonThomasArtSupply.com as well. Fantastic little brush. So thank you again for watching. Please like and comment. Every time you see a new video, please like and comment. It helps so much. Thank you for all those who do comment and like. I appreciate your support so much, and I try to interact with you as best I can in the comments. Thank you so much for watching me again. I love you, but Jesus loves you more. God bless you, and I'll see you real soon.
The Painting with Magic Show with Brandon Thomas is brought to you by BrandonThomasArtSupply.com.